And we're through to Sunday, final day of the week. We've got some sandbag work or some D-ball work, depending on what you've got, and then some good teamwork, okay? Nothing too fancy here. 400-meter run as a pair, or as a team, shall I say, in our teams of 3. And then once we come back in, we're going to just split this work as we feel comfortable. I feel like we should do this conga line style. So if 3 of you have all got the same slam ball or sandbag, up onto the shoulder, drop it over the backside, walk forward, next person goes, next person goes. If you have one person in your team that's maybe struggling a little bit more than everybody else, you may look to rotate them out so then they get an extra rep rest. But again, that's up to you. Hopefully we've got enough sandbags or D-balls to be able to rotate so everyone gets a 2-person rest each time. Things to consider on the sandbag work. Making sure you spend a bit more time in the setup is going to help when you're at the hips. So if you're rushing that sandbag off the floor and your grip's not quite right, you're going to find that's going to catch up on you big time as we're struggling through. So let's just make sure hands are right under, roll it over each hand, be right over the top of it, and then we're looking at hinging ourselves up to those hips, and then it's a rock and then a roll. In terms of the squats, we want to be picking it up near enough exactly the same way as we did for our clean, but then we're going to just come into that bear hug hold. We're going to hold it through the midline. It's very, very tough to hold these when we're in our positions. Let's just make sure we try and breathe as best we can and not let ourselves get pulled forward. With the synchro down ups, again, if you've got a group that's maybe struggling, you can drop one person out in a rotation, but ultimately or ideally, you have all 3 of you going at the same time. That synchro is just good for controlling pace. It also allows a good opportunity to see people's movement, because obviously if people have got slightly off on their synchro, that's telling me one person has a different technique to the others. It's not necessarily always fitness. So some people will go down and wait at the bottom. Some people are very much there in a straight arm position and they're down and up very quickly in terms of their arms. Let's see what variations people have, and then hopefully people will be able to work through as best they can.